Hi, everyone. Today I'm speaking with Rhanda, and Rhanda was a student of mine before the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was your first year, right? At university.
No, it was a couple of years in.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Um, so what I wanted to do was find out from Rhanda, because I saw you, right, writing exams. And we're like,
Yeah.
we just said a quick hello, and we're like, hey, how you been? And I'm like, and I know you couldn't talk because you were getting ready for your exam. And I think um, you had to get there really quickly. So I thought we could just catch up this way. So I haven't really spoken to you other than seeing you. I haven't really spoken to you for about 2 years.
Yeah,
So
I haven't seen anyone anyways.
yeah,
The
because of
past
that.
2 years.
Yeah. And so I thought what we could do is we could just kind of touch base, right? And you could kind of tell me how things have been going, and then kind of where you're at, and kind of the stuff that you learned from our program, and kind of how it's helped you. So, what have you been up to the last few years?
I was working on my major, trying to get my major courses capstones done.
Okay.
Uh,
What was your major? What is your major?
Marketing,
Okay.
business marketing.
Good. Okay, so you did that, and then how did that go for you?
It was great, really good. I was very helpful because I took them after I took your class. Your class was the start of a lot of A's. I aced a lot of classes after your class because my mindset changed, my um, point of view changed, how I looked at classes changed. I always remembered the time you said you're putting $700 into a class, you could put it somewhere else. So might as well just work on it and do the best you can. So that stuck to me. Stayed with me all the time.
Yeah, and it's true. And what's interesting is not only are you spending money, but you're also spending like years of your life. And those years you're never going to get back. Like money you can always make back,
Yeah.
but you'll never get the time back. So if you're not going to do a good job at it, what's the point, right? So that's good. I'm glad you were listening. And another question I had for you is, so what was your mindset before, and then how did it change? Like I know you said it changed, but how so? Was it just about the money, or was it about something else?
Yeah, that's the least I can tell you. My mindset changed from just barely making it through school to no acing it and getting in the dean's list. I it it's changed extremely. I think this class was the change for me big time.
Dean's list. I didn't know you got on the Dean's list. You're telling me now for
Oh,
the first time.
3 times.
You got on the Dean's list 3 times. Oh, good for you.
That it was really good.
Good for you. I didn't know that.
Yeah, first time I was like, is this a joke? I looked at it again and then no, my name is in there.
That's awesome. And this a good surprise for me. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. And what are some of the things that put you on that Dean's list? Like, what do you think? Like, what were you doing before, and what kind of things did you fix and improve? I know you talked about mindset, so if you want to discuss that more, but how would you, if you had to talk to your younger self, what would you tell your younger self? That's kind of what I'm looking at. Because I know when you're in my class, you were a bit nervous. You remember that? You're
Yeah.
a bit nervous, you're a bit stressed, you're a bit worried. So what would you tell that person today if you had that opportunity? And
I wish I took this class earlier. I would have made better choices through university for sure. It wasn't late because I still made a difference, but I wish I took it earlier.
Anything from the class that really stood out that helped you?
Oh, the soft deadlines and the draft deadlines.
Soft and hard deadlines, yeah.
Hard deadlines, yeah.
Yeah, good. And how's everything else going? Like I know you got on the dean's list. So what's in your future now? So what does it look like now for you?
I'm still in the search for a full-time job. I am working part-time now, but I need a full-time job. And once I know my schedule, once I know the job I'm doing, I can incorporate whatever I learned.
Yeah. So I guess what I was trying to ask was what what are you looking at now? Like what now that you've gone on the dean's list, your opportunities are getting more,
Mhm.
right? Because now people um, want to work with a student who's performed well academically.
Yeah.
So are you noticing some of those opportunities come to you? Or what are you experiencing now that you're on the dean's list? I guess that's the question.
Well, if as a student, I will talk, when I looked for groups, let's say, when I was asking to be in groups, especially in my capstone, a lot of students would go on LinkedIn and check out my LinkedIn account to see if what I'm doing, if I'm suitable for their team, if I'm a good fit. And they
Really?
would notice, yeah, they would notice that I'm in the dean list. So
And
it
what
makes
is
a difference.
yeah, wow. I never that's a new way of figuring out. Now, is this all university based?
Yeah,
Um,
because capstone classes in business, a lot of people connect together on social on not social media on LinkedIn,
yeah,
and this is how we get to know each other. We get to know what everyone's doing.
yeah. Wow. That's amazing. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because that's on LinkedIn, it's pretty much your resume in front of you, right? So you can actually people can actually see what you've been up to. Well, that's
Yeah,
good. So you get into some really good groups, right? And that's good because then you're working with other people that are pretty focused and intelligent. But anything else, like have employers approached you or any other work opportunities happen for you or anything like that?
well, work opportunities. So the job I am in now, one of my group members in like during school, during my capstone courses,
Yeah,
told me about the job opportunity. And that's how I got the job, through her.
nice. And what is capstone exactly? What is
It's the end of like the final courses in marketing.
Oh, okay. So now you're in a situation because now you're transitioning into the workforce.
Yeah,
So,
I'm completely done now. I'm graduating. I graduated already.
well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And so that exam you were writing was for that was your last one?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, good. And how do you feel? How do you feel now that you're done?
I don't know. I've been I just want to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I'm doing too, because we have to grade so much and there's so much to do. And so, yeah, that's good. So, what's your plan? Are you going to look for work, like more work, or are you already set for work now?
No, I'm looking for jobs.
Oh, okay. So the job that you have right now is something else, or
It's a good job. It's a great opportunity, but it's part-time,
okay.
very casual. I want something more full-time.
What was it like working with me? I think some students might want to know that. So what would you say that was like for you?
It was very nice. It was professional. Um, the group the our group was like my group, the ones I usually sat with, felt like friends more. Um, I I have one friend from there. Her name Tahani. I still connect with her.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. Um, yes, it was really good. It was very like professional. Taught us a lot of real world um, situations that we could face.
Good. And did you enjoy yourself? Did you find that it was applicable to kind of helping you?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, good.
My sister is taking your class next semester.
Oh, really?
This semester coming up.
Oh, really? She is. Okay,
My sister,
good.
because it's her first year,
Yeah, yeah.
it, you have to take this class. You have to.
Yeah. Well, no, it's pretty cool because I have a lot of students coming in. They're like, yeah, I was told that I should take this class.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, I'm very flattered people say that. Anything that you think um, if you had to teach somebody who's like going into first year or anything like that, any tips you would share with them? Anything that you learned that you could share with them to help them?
My advice is for students is to actually take a year off, think of what they want to do, and really think, work hard at a job that's requires a lot of work, and see what the taste of working hard is and how it tastes like, then decide to come back to school and do their best at school.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, because when you're away from school, it's not always pleasant working, is it? Like when you don't have a degree and you're having a job, you're probably doing some pretty tough jobs. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
So then you have these tough jobs, and then you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. So then you go to school, and then when you're driven and you're motivated like you were, right? Because you were very driven, you were very motivated. And I remember you in my class because you were like always asking questions and getting more clarification, and you really wanted to do the best you could, right? Yeah. And I think that really is the thing that separated you from the other students, because you really tried, right? You didn't always do well sometimes, but you tried and you learned from your mistakes. And then now you look at what's happening, right? Dean's List, you're getting all A's because you understood what it was like to not be in school. So that makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
Anything else that you think is important?
Yeah, asking questions. Take 10 minutes or 5 seconds or whatever it is after class. Connect with your prof. Just make sure you know what you're doing. It's the worst when it comes to last day of doing your assignment and you email the prof wouldn't answer you for sure. So ask questions when it's actually the time that you can ask questions. The earlier, the better, because you keep thinking about it. And as examples come across, or as you're reading something through school, you prepare.
Yeah, and I also think that that's also applying speed of implementation, right? Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
So do you do that as well?
Yeah. Speed of implementation, for sure. I ask a lot of questions still. I prepare in advance. So research is always in advance. And I just keep the links on there and I go on it every now and then to read.
What kind of research do you do?
First classes, like after I took your class, I had to take some management class, and that's exactly what I did. I still remember when I applied that to my courses, researching some stuff, and I copy the link and paste it into my Word document, and then go back and forth to it, read it, type in some, and then leave, and then come back to it.
So you use the research more as additional information, so as an added resource.
Yeah, right. Resources have to be what is it? What do you apply? I forget what it is.
They have to, like credible. They have to be a credible resource.
Credible researchers, yeah.
Yeah. So that's really good, because when you're starting something sooner, then what happens is you have the time and the ability to get that additional information, right? If you're leaving for the last minute, then you don't have the time to do that. And sometimes it takes a while to be able to do that as well.
Yeah, when you're leaving on last minute, you're just reading the introduction of that research and
and you don't
information in.
And you don't get a chance to do it. Yeah, good. And let's see, what has any other parts of your life other than work and school, like have you been using this kind of stuff in any other parts of your life? And if so, anything has happened at all? Or
well, my siblings, my brother and my sister are in university now.
Yeah.
And I advise them a lot, and they listen to me a lot because they know I went through a lot of changes with my journey, so they know I know better.
Yeah, so you're almost like a role model now.
Yeah, I'm their mentor.
Yeah, good. And being a mentor, what's that like for you?
it's very like the role has switched now. Before I was a mentee, now I'm a mentor. So it's different.
Yeah. What do you enjoy more, being the mentor or being the mentee?
Mentor for sure.
Yeah. But you had to get there, right? Like you had to suffer through it to get to be a mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Took
that's
took a long time.
yeah. Yeah. And the same with me. Like I had to fail. And I think I told you guys the story, right? That I failed quite a bit growing up. And the difference was that when I failed, luckily I had a good support network around me, and then I picked myself back up, and then I tried, and as I tried I learned a lot, just like you did. You learned a lot, and then you can share that, and hopefully you can save somebody some grief, so then they don't repeat it again with so people.
I just wish this class was in high schools. Simple as that. I wish this class was taught in high school.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of students come from, I come from high school. I don't know what's university like, I should expect, how should I prepare myself? And this class would be very beneficial.
good. Yeah. And are you excited for graduating?
Oh yes, trust me.
After you finish sleeping, you'll be happy.
I'll be ready to graduate. I tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, once I walk the stage, I'm not coming down. I'll stay there. She's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just so happy. I'm done.
When that happens, it's a big accomplishment, right? And you feel good. And now they're on the dean's list. I think it'll be a good way to go.